I'm reading tweets that concern the hashtag defund Obamacare because, but I will note there has been another hashtag tonight, make DC listen. And that hashtag has been trending higher and higher, make DC listen. And as the evening goes forward, I fully expect for those of you who have something that you want to say, but you're not currently able to come to the Senate floor. Maybe in a few years you will be. Maybe you'll be elected to the Senate and stand at your desk and make the argument, but right now you're not. Let me encourage you to tweet with the hashtag #MakeDCListen, and I expect later in the evening to read a sample of those tweets so that we can help provide voice to those millions of Americans who are frustrated that DC isn't listening. But these are some of the tweets of the past few days with the hashtag defund Obamacare because it's just another way to gain control over people. Defund Obamacare because I don't want the government dictating my health care. Because I don't trust the government to run my health care. Because it was sold to us on lies. You can keep your insurance? No. My coverage reduced to nearly nothing, premiums the same. Because it's too intrusive on our privacy. Because it's killing jobs and stifling the economy. Because it's forcing small businesses to lay off full-time workers and replace them with part-time workers to avoid bankrupting mandate. Because Congress should be representing us, we the people, a majority of Americans, don't want Obamacare. Because it adds layers of government inefficiency, centralizes control to ivory tower bureaucrats, massive drag on the economy. Because it will lead to single-payer health care. Single payer is all caps and care is in quotes. Bad, 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 bad. Because it's not even implemented yet, and it has already raised my insurance rates and reduced the quality of my medical care. Because cancellation notices from my carrier due to ACA kind of ruin the narrative, like it, keep it. Bombs away on ACA. Because I don't want the government deciding my family's health care. Because the cost of health care will increase with quality decreasing. Empower the free market. Because it is a threat to jobs and our economy. Because I got laid off. My chances of finding another job are slim too. None now. Because it's time people in D.C. do what's best for this country instead of their political party. Let me read that one again. Because it's time for people in D.C. to do what's best for this country instead of their political party. You know, if we listen to the people, if we make D.C. listen, this wouldn't be about party. This wouldn't be about Democrats sticking to the bill they passed. This wouldn't be about Republicans afraid of political blame and repercussions. This would be about 100 senators listening to the people and saying this bill isn't working. Because it kills jobs and the backbone of the American middle class. Because it's killing free clinics and reducing access to care. Because Americans love freedom. Because it's a job-killing machine, up to and including doctors. Because I don't want government to control my health care. Because the free market works and government regulation does not. Because Americans can't live on part-time wages and pay the outrageously high cost of Obamacare. Because it violates Americans' First Amendment right to religious liberty. Because we the people don't want it, and the government works for us. Let me repeat that one again. Because we the people don't want it, and the government works for us. And let me note something, by the way. That hashtag was a simple hashtag, defend Obamacare because. That's the message that's coming from the people. Washington isn't listening. It's why tonight, make D.C. listening is trending higher and higher as a hashtag, because that's what this fight is about. Washington isn't listening to the people because it has already resulted in great doctors leaving medicine. Because government is not meant to force me into something they have no business in. Because I'm against force and coercion from government. If it was a great idea, it would be voluntary. Now that says something. If it was a great idea, why is the federal government forcing you to be a part of it? And by the way, why at the same time is the president granting exemptions to big corporations and to members of Congress? If it's a great idea, they wouldn't have to force you to participate. And if it was a great idea, members of Congress would not have asked the president for an exemption so that members of Congress get a special rule that doesn't apply to the American people. Because I don't want bureaucrats involved in my physician's decisions on my health care. Because I value my freedom. Because it's ruining the 40-hour work week, according to unions. Because it is crony capitalism for the healthcare industrial complex. Because you don't want a bunch of bureaucrats deciding which medical treatments you can and can't receive. What do they know? Because the government should not is in all caps, own our medical data. Because the IRS will be enforcing it. Now that's a pair that gives you great comfort. The IRS in charge of it. The IRS employees unions publicly asked for them to be exempted from Obamacare. And right now they're assembling the largest database in history of our health care records. We've seen the IRS, their willingness to abuse their power. And under Obamacare right now, they just have access to our health care records, so it's not like anyone should be concerned about that. Because it is a job-killing, economy-destroying, healthcare-ruining, debt-exploding, out-of-control government mess. I like that one. Because it is a job-killing, economy-destroying, healthcare-ruining, debt-exploding, out-of-control government mess. Because Obamacare is all about socialistic control of we the people and nothing to do with, quote, fixing healthcare. Because it was rammed through in the dark of the night. And that should matter. Because it has already come between me and my doctors and it's not even fully implemented yet. Next time you see your physician, do you want your friendly neighborhood federal bureaucrats sitting down and being part of the physician's meeting? I don't. And I know that Texans don't either, most Americans don't either. Because it's a Trojan horse. Once inside, it will destroy us. Because even the unions agree it's not working. Because we need the IRS to get out of our lives, not make health care decisions for us. Because it'll cost Americans their jobs. Because it's a red herring being used to move the country to single-payer system. Now, as we noted earlier, that's not, some people dismiss, single-payer, this is designed to go there. That's just crazy tinfoil hat-wearing stuff. But there's an old saying, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you. And yes, there are people worried about single payer, but you know what? They have every good reason to be, particularly when the majority leader of the United States Senate goes on the television and says, the purpose of Obamacare is to send people into single-payer system. Government-provided socialized health care. That is the express purpose from those who voted for Obamacare. To destroy the private health insurance system and to move to single-payer government socialized medicine. Because honestly, the people do not want it. Because problems cannot be solved by a larger government than the one that created them. Because after 3 years, they're still trying to sell it to us. Now that's a good point. If it were such a great idea, don't you remember at the time they said, gosh, once people get it, they're going to love it, it's going to work. And you know what? If it had, we'd be having a very different discussion. If it had worked, the American people would support it. We'd see the results. We'd see the benefits. And we wouldn't have this debate. If it were working well, we wouldn't be having this debate because the American people would support it. The facts are clear. And so even those who voted 3 years ago, unless your view of serving in office is, hey, Once I vote, I stick to it no matter what the facts say, no matter how much people are hurting, no matter how big a disaster it is. I ain't changing no matter what. Now, I can't believe there are many senators in this body that want to approach voting like that. That's not a responsible way to approach your job. The facts are clear. This thing isn't working, and all 100 of us ought to act to avert this train wreck.